My name is Joe Wood, and I am running for VP of Finance with Team Phoenix. Quick rundown of my pertinent experience. I'm a third-year business administration major. I got a 99% in both financial and managerial accounting and won the F. Allen Lawson Memorial Prize as a result. I'm also president of Absinthe Magazine. Clearly, I have extensive experience, and a proven track record in finance, which qualifies me for the position. Most of you are aware of my two promises. One is to publish the budget and financial statements online to create a culture of transparency and encourage open debate. As it stands, the financial statements for 2007-2008 will not be available until October of this year. I've been assured this is due to job turnover in the bookkeeping position. I have a solution to this problem created by outsourcing. We should insource the job to a Trent student. A student with first and second year accounting is more than capable of bookkeeping. Hiring the student at $10 an hour for 3 hours a week would save $2,000 a year on our current bookkeeping expenditures. This brings me to my next policy. If elected, I promise to support a constitutional amendment to stop levy increase requests. I want to emphasize, the levy would still rise with inflation costs and grow with the student body. Hence, the TCSA could still provide new and improved services. Based on Schiff and Lewin's Where Traditional Budgeting Fails, their seminal piece from 1968, budgets are usually composed of about 25% slack. So let's have a look at how I would save money without touching student services. For starters, large organizations give credit to each other, credit terms, and the CFS is no different. So why do we allow Trent to immediately send them a check? Other schools don't. If we treated it as an account payable and accrued the liability, we could experience cash flow from investments increased of $5,000. Our total investment income was budgeted as $35,000. I wanted to analyze the liquidity of our contingency fund, since I'm told it's about $500,000. I'm sure I could safely increase their returns by at least 1%. However, when I asked for last year's balance sheet, I couldn't get one. Also, there was no pro forma balance sheet prepared this year. So really the TCSA only actually prepared half of the budget. Further, TCSA expensed a contingency fund contribution of $12,000. This is not an expense, it should be added to the balance sheet as an asset and as equity, not expense. I also found a lot of smaller ways to cut costs without cutting student services. For example, we pay $500 in bank fees. We should switch the TCSA accounts from TD to a credit union. We will thus be part owners of our financial institution and easily negotiate for lower fees. In all, I was able to locate over $55,000 in ways that TCSA's operations, according to its budget, could have been improved for the good of students. That would have erased the budgeted deficit that existed this year. We will ensure that the next budget is balanced. And as I've shown, it doesn't mean slashing student services if our VP of Finance has the necessary knowledge and experience. Please, vote for me, Joe Wood, for VP of Finance and for the rest of Team Phoenix. Together, we will bring accountability.
Sorry, questions for Joe. I asked who last time. Sorry, man or woman last time? Woman. Woman? John.
Okay, yeah, that was all very impressive and slightly mind-boggling because I'm not an econ major and I'm not a business major, so all that means very little to me, to be quite honest. I'm interested in the social progressiveness of our student union, and I realize that your budget will grow with inflation, but I also feel that the TCSA is at a point where it needs to be taking on more student groups, and this proposed student assembly would result in that. I'm getting to my question. So I heard one of your proposed cuts would be in the payroll of 2 members of the TCSA during the summer. I find that quite troubling because Trent has a history of...
I'm sorry, John. Can you please get to the question?
Yeah. Trent has a history of pushing policies and plans against students in the summer. And the TCSA is our voice as a student union in the summer. I want to know where those members would be on this issue in the summer. Trail was closed in the summer.
Sorry, I'm not making the connection, but I'll try to answer your question.
No. The connection is we don't have representation in the summer if you cut funding to pay our student representatives. And I find that quite troubling.
Well, unfortunately, you haven't seen my plan, which I'm willing to email to anyone. josephwood@trentu.ca. Give me a shout. I'll email my schedule. As far as that expenditure, we will be decreasing the VP of Finance positions the 3 positions for half the summer. They'd be on the last 2 months. The president would act for the entire summer. And there's also part-time office staff, which we did not touch. So, while I appreciate that you haven't quite seen my plan yet, but I hope you see it, you'll understand that we do have full representation during the summer.
I don't think you do, though. If your members aren't going to be there half the summer.
Candidates, you have an opportunity to ask a question, he has an opportunity to answer it, that's it. Okay.
I have asked you a question. I don't really
I know. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go with her for a second. Yeah. Go ahead, Lane.
Okay, hi Joe. I'm wondering if you find this language and this proposal of denying future votes at of the TCSA levy increase at all problematic, considering that if the TCSA suggests or the TCSA asks for a levy increase, students could decide whether or not they needed the levy increase.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Right now, it just gets pushed out during a meeting. There's no involvement with students anyways, and it gets pushed upon them, which is probably why they've turned it down just in 2005. Now, as far as ensuring it remains democratic and there can still be a levy increase, they can still do it. They just have to remove this constitutional amendment. So it makes it a longer process, a longer hearing process involved. So there's not going to be knee-jerk reactions, which are very common in nonprofit organizations.
You didn't address the democratic.
Megan, sorry. Thank you, Joe.